is me with my character. I left all my gear at the base, running naked. Lots of fun. Headed towards the aircraft trader up here to my north. I wanted to do a video real quick for the purpose of showing the availability of certain vehicles. I'll probably edit this down, get rid of some of the running that I'm doing, unless I can come up with enough stuff to talk about. Because I mean, this thing's 2,500 meters away. That's a little bit of a ways away, but had a lot of fun today playing on the server with the guys. Lots of interesting things happened. I got a couple long distance shots on video. Luckily those were the longest that I recorded. They were out at almost 1,400 meters. The first one I hit was at 1302, I believe, was the range on that. Which I mean is a little more than half the distance of where we're running to right now. It's a very, very long ways. Basically to tell the story, for those of you that weren't there, and for those of you that, you know, maybe don't play with us. I logged on, and I had been gone most of the day, taking care of some stuff. And when I got on, Kai and Forgiven were down at their respective bases, and they started getting base attacks in this game. I don't know if this happens in PvP as well, but in PvE I know for sure it does. You can actually get a base attack, and basically what it is guys parachute in on your base and sit outside and wait to kill you over and over and over again until they're all dead, or until there's a server restart. They do not go away when you die like raid groups do. They stay there at your base and wait for you, and it's annoying. But anyways, I went down there. Let me see. Once I get to an opening, I'll kind of pull up a map and show you guys what was going on. But I went down there. I was going to Forgiven's base first because he sounded like he was in more distress. He had already died. He was trying to move back into his base. He ended up getting back into his base once I got into position. I started looking. Couldn't see anybody at his base. I could see them going around with the flashlight. That's another crazy thing. This was happening at night. I could see the flashlight looking around, but I couldn't see the guy that was at his base. So I decided, okay, well, let's see if I can see Kai's base from here, because their bases are very close to each other. To explain how close they are to each other, I was like 400 meters away from Forgiven's base, and Kai's base was about 1,300 meters away. So they're very, very close to each other, within 900 meters of each other, which is really, really, really close. Which is great for them because they can back each other up pretty frequently and run between each other's bases if they need something. And they're trying to build their bases high enough, from what I understand, to be able to give each other support from their respective bases, because that distance will probably be closer to 800 or 900 meters, which is much more doable. Anyways, with all that out of the way, I set up on a rock face out there. Hold on, let me check the map real quick to see. I want to make sure I'm going around this guerrilla-controlled town. Don't want to die out there. But anyways, there was a rock surface that I got up on up there. I really like rocky areas. I was taught that the zombies do not go up the rocks. Raid groups do not go up the rocks. Nothing climbs the rocks, so when you get on the rocks, you're safe from anything that's going to be around you. It's a very good place to perch. So I perch on rocks very frequently. But anyways, now that I'm kind of coming to a clearing, let me run this way and this way, and we'll see. Okay. So it was down in this area. I was up here. Alright, that's the rock surface that I found. I think I was on this corner of it, and I was looking down at Forgiven's base. I had a very narrow view of it. I actually ended up killing one guy there, but that was after I started shooting at Kai's place, which is all the way over there. That's quite the distance from there to there. I mean, that's huge. Basically, I saw a guy running around in front of his base. It was kind of foggy out, so all I could see was an outline. I couldn't actually see him, his body. I just saw an outline of a guy running around his base. And because we were in a group, I had notification of where Kai actually was, and he was upstairs in his building, so I knew that person running around up front was a friendly. I confirmed it with him to make sure it wasn't somebody that he was playing with that just wasn't in the group, and he said, yeah, that's an enemy, and I took the shot. The scope I had at the time was the Night Stalker, and that thing only zeroes out to 1 kilometer or 1,000 meters. And I was taking shots at anywhere between 13 and 1400 meters. So naturally, there was no way for me to line this up center crosshair. Well, the Night Stalker also does not have mil dots. It's not exactly meant for long range. It kind of is. It can go out to 1 kilometer, but it's not expecting your nighttime engagements to be that far away. Normally, when you're shooting farther than that, you're going to be during the daytime. Well, I had to just kind of pick a spot on the line down beneath. It was just a straight line, just the crosshair. So I had to just pick a spot on the vertical crosshair and see if it was going to work. And when I took the shot, I came up, I don't know, about 5 meters short of the guy. So he started running around because he heard the shot hit, and I noticed the path he was going on was very similar, so I knew that there was one spot where he was going to stop. And as he was running towards the area and coming to a stop, because the bullet took, a little bit of time to travel there, but as he was coming to a stop, I took the shot and nailed him right in the chest. And I was using a MAR-10, which isn't too incredibly fancy of a rifle, but it is a 338, which is a pretty powerful round, but it wasn't like a 50 or anything. But it did drop him 1 hit through body armor, so it is good enough for that. And the effective range is supposed to be 1,000 meters. Well, obviously, you can push it out a little bit further than that, I guess. But yeah, so I hit him from 1,300 meters, almost on the nose. He was 1302 out. Proceeded to freak out and make Kai laugh like crazy at how much I was freaking out. Took a picture so that nobody can say it didn't happen. And I believe it was Forgiven that was like, oh, I see you getting on that Photoshop. Just messing around with me. So I was like, okay, I'll make another shot. And that's when I started hitting the guys at 1380, which was a lot of fun. Ended up clearing both of the bases, getting safe, and I had my helicopter at the trader over by their base, and we went and did some missions and got some cool stuff. We ended up finding a technical, and for the first time ever, one of the trucks in the mission area showed up locked. So it had a lock built into it, but we needed a knife to get into it. And most of the time in the mission areas like that, vehicles that you find are just, oh gosh, that was awkward. Okay, anyways, vehicles that you find, they're not going to have... that's a vehicle right there. That's sick. I'll take that back. Anyways, I keep getting distracted. Vehicles are not going to have locks built into them. They're not going to be persistent vehicles. They're just vehicles that somebody was using for the mission. So normally that's what the technicals are. They're not really all that attainable. Okay, I'm going to talk to this guy and then get ready to leave. So we've got a Skywagon, M900 Civilian, Caesar BTT, AN2, Huey armed. Gonna exit out. Zombies getting close. We're gonna run around. I might actually wait for this zombie to go away before I actually do anything. I'm gonna pull him as far this way as I can and run past him. And I should have brought a pistol, but I was being dumb and leaving all my stuff behind because that's me. The southern airport is safer when it comes to zombie spawns, but it's also farther away, and I didn't feel like running all the way down there. Although I think me telling stories possibly could have lasted that long. So anyways, while I'm messing with the zombie, the mission that we did, we cleared out all the enemies, got some pretty good loot, but there was that technical there that was locked, which is very rare. At first I thought it was just coded, and I thought that it was unlocked because it was a mission reward, but no. Because mission rewards, you actually, they come with the code locks on them. When you complete the mission, they give you the code for them, but they come unlocked. And the code is so that you can lock them and stuff. There's another zombie over there that we're going to have to pull over. Oh boy. So anyways, we needed a knife to unlock and hotwire the vehicle. Well, we didn't have one, of course. So, yeah, moved on, started doing other things, cleared a gear crate at the airfield, Forgiven bought a helicopter finally, and we both got our paint jobs changed, and all kinds of stuff, lots of fun. Well, then Forgiven got off, and they had been clearing a town while I was getting dinner, and there was only a couple dudes left, so I got a drone and guided Kai through it. And we cleared the town, he went and checked the loot box, and lo and behold, there is a knife. So we fly all the way over to the technical and go and try to unlock it and everything. Well, when we get there, it's despawned, along with everything else from the mission area. So we were not going to be able to grab that technical, sadly. Okay, here we go again. We're going to look at aircraft. So, we've got the Skywagon, M900, Caesar BTT, the AN2, the Huey Armed, Taru Transport, the Hummingbird, the Hellcat, the Orca, the Taru Covered, the Mohawk, the Huron, the Blackfish, Infantry Transport, and the Blackfish vehicle transport. So those are all of the air vehicles that we have access to. And with that, I'm going to leave. I have the video that I want. We can pause at any point in that video to view all the aircraft and their prices. That is the whole reason that I wanted to go down and do that, because we always talk about, okay, well, what aircraft do we have access to, and things of that nature, and that's going to answer our question for us. Anyways, back to the story. So the technical had despawned, as well as everything that was with it, except for the loot box. Well, as we're sitting there lamenting in our extremely bad luck, I start slowly flying off after hovering there for a little bit. And as I start to pick up speed, a Titan missile flies past the tail of my helicopter and explodes, which makes Kai and I nearly poop our pants. I've got it on video, and you guys will see it, most likely. But to explain how close this was, I was in third-person view. I saw the Titan missile. I knew it was a Titan launcher, not because I saw the dude with the Titan launcher, because I know what a Titan launcher missile looks like, and I saw the Titan missile on my screen. And Kai saw it explode on his screen. How my helicopter did not go get crazy damaged from the explosion, I have no idea, but it didn't. Which was great and all, but it was terrifying, and I got out of there real fast and in a hurry. So we took Kai back to his base and everything. Ray killed all the guys that were up there at Comms Alpha, which is something that he was trying to do because one of the guys up there at Comms Alpha killed him a couple times today, and he really wanted his revenge, and he did in fact get his revenge. So good job on that, Ray. That was good persistence. We offered to help him multiple times, and he said no, which I very greatly respect, because I'm sure, I mean, yes, it stinks to go in and die, but he probably learned a whole lot today, and that's good. That his persistence in that and his desire to get better and learn how to beat the guy was good. I like that a lot. And then we have Kai sitting there hoping that the raid groups go to somewhere else. I'm just messing with you, Kai. It is true, though. But yeah, so it's been a pretty fun day. After that, I was going to fly Kai over to the airport so he could get his helicopter. So we're going to have 3 helicopters soon. He had to get off. I had to go to the bathroom. You know, because you guys needed to know that. But it's honestly what happened, though. I had to go to the restroom, and Kai logged off while I was in there. So tomorrow we will go get him his helicopter, and we will have 3 helicopters. The other reason I wanted to run down there to the aircraft trader is because I am debating on buying another aircraft. Thinking about Noah, I can't think of any reason why we would want to buy an actual aeroplane, like a jet or a prop engine plane. I'm pretty sure that this map is small enough that you can get just about anywhere you want to go in a helicopter in a very reasonable speed, or a very reasonable amount of time. I mean, anywhere you are on this island or any of the islands, you are not more than a 2-minute flight away from a trader, if even 2 minutes. I mean, it's even if you're right here, in the middle, you've got this way and that way. Even if you're over here, you've got your choice of either one. Sometimes it can be extended if you're having to go around mission areas and such, but I mean, it's also dependent upon how risky you're willing to be with your helicopter. I'm starting to get to the point where I'm okay with being a little bit more risky, but still not putting myself in the thick of a firefight, just going on the edge of it. Although today I did get a good exfil on Forgiven and Ray. Forgiven was completely willing to hoof it with Ray and save the helicopter, which I appreciated very much because he understands the value of having a helicopter. But I said no, and I gained a little bit more altitude to get over the trees that were in front of me, landed, picked them up, and bugged out, and we were a little bit under fire, but the helicopter did not sustain any heavy damage. I also landed in the middle of fire, which was extremely stressful, mainly because I had been hit. I was in the red, which means I think that means I was under like 30% health or something like that. They hit me through the windshield. Luckily, I have like level 5 armor and stuff like that, or I probably would have been dead. Not probably, I would have been dead. But yeah, I was going to land at, I think it was at Forgiven's base, I want to say. We had just finished doing something else. And there was a raid group that had spawned on me while I was up there sniping on the hill when I got those 1300 meter shots. And I just kind of ignored them because it was in the woods. I did not want to fight in the woods. It just didn't sound like a good idea. Bots can kind of see you through the trees. You can't see them. They have an unfair advantage. One of the things about getting good at Exile is knowing when to leave a fight, to be honest. The main priority is staying alive. So they ended up shooting at me. I knew they were in front of me, so I had backed up and kept shooting and kept engaging targets. Well, when it was time for me to get down, when everything had been cleared, I was looking around for them and I couldn't find them. Well, some zombies spawned, and they started shooting at the zombies, and I could tell that they were to my west, I believe it was. No, they were to my east, I think, but they were to the left of me, and I could hear that in my headphones because of the dynamic sounds and everything. So I escaped to the right and ran to meet up with Kai and Forgiven, and just kind of forgot that they were out there. And when I came in to land at Forgiven's base for one of the runs, I got shot, and they kept shooting at me, and it was a really good response from the guys, to be honest. Ray and Forgiven and Kai, all of them seriously did extremely well today. That's pretty cool to watch. Wow. What a way to end the video. Right there, But, yeah, just closing thoughts. Ray, Kai, Forgiven, you guys did awesome today. The response on that raid group that was shooting at me when I was coming in for a landing was absolutely beautiful. They stayed very, very calm, cool, and collected. There was no panicking on my part or their part. They just got into a position, found out where they were coming from and started taking shots and cleared me to land. Um, they did the same thing when we went in for a mission. Forgiven had to go AFK for a second while we were driving out there, and we were in my Quillen. And we got to our spot where we were parking, and I parked in some trees. And as soon as we got out of the vehicle, all of us except for Forgiven, who was AFK, a zombie horde spawned. And when I say a horde, I mean like 20 zombies, 30 zombies. I don't even remember how much it was, but it was a whole lot of zombies. And once again, everybody kept their cool, especially Forgiven because he wasn't at the keyboard. um, I'm laughing at my own jokes. This is so sad. Anyways, please laugh along with me in the video. It'll make me feel kind of better, I guess. But as I was saying, everybody stayed really calm. Took out a few zombies. We heard them hitting the vehicle because Forgiven was still sitting inside of it. Kai and Ray distracted the zombies. I went in there, hopped in the vehicle, and drove off before it exploded. And I mean, it was pretty beat up. Like, it was sitting a whole foot lower, and it was gray. I thought we were going to lose it, but I got it out of there in time, thanks to Kai and Ray really keeping the zombies distracted. And parked at a different area. Forgiven came back, ran in there. They stayed calm. They didn't freak out and try to kill all the zombies. They said, well, we're going into a mission. Let's take the zombies with us. Which ended up paying off because they got hit by 2 raid groups coming from 2 different directions. I went and got up and set on Overwatch about 900 meters away from the mission area, across the street. To basically give you an idea, the mission area was over here. I think it was right here, is what I want to say. I was up here, and the vehicle was down here. Where I had originally parked was right here, and they came down and crossed the road here into this little town and cut across. And the zombies were following them. Well, a raid group hit from this direction and this direction. Well, they were about right here. The ones back here got distracted by the zombies. They took out the ones in front of them. I ended up picking up the ones behind them. They stayed really calm the whole time. I mean, it was just, everything went perfect. They came in around the side here. We started engaging enemies. They were able to hit things that I couldn't see. I was able to hit things that they couldn't see. I cut off all of the large turrets and things that were endangering them at the time. I mean, it went extremely well, and today was a lot of fun. So that's just a little bit about how our day went. What time is it right now in game? Not anywhere close to being nighttime. I do want it to be nighttime soon because today I got this halogen lamp that's somewhere over here. We just walked up past it. Right there. There it is. And I want to see how bright that thing actually gets, because that thing could come in handy. But that was a little bit about our day here on the ATC server. Had a lot of fun with some really good guys. Got some really good teamwork going here. More videos to come, of course. We have our look at aircraft now, and we have a little bit of what all went down today. I'm sure there's a lot that I'm missing, and Forgiven and Kai will be able to fill you guys in on the details. But as for now, I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. On at the end. Everybody wants to see how I take care of raid groups, I think. So I'm going to go ahead and do it. Let's see. You can see them all the way over there. They're very slowly coming in. Oops, missed there. Ooh, I'm aiming a little high. Okay. This guy must be glitched into the wall there. So I just try to spot him from as far off as I can. It lets my rifle be as effective as possible. So that was 1, 2, I'm pretty sure I've hit 4 so far. I'll just pretend there's 2 more for safety's sake. As you can see, this thing is pretty strong. I'm hitting them and their bulletproof vests. There we go. That should be all of them. Figured I'd add that in there at the end. You guys saw the raid group notification. It would just be, you know, poor of me to not show y'all footage of me taking on the raid group. Even though I'm sure that's footage that you're going to see plenty of in my videos and stuff, because that's, you know, half the action that we experience, but it's all good. So anyways, with that, that does end the video. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. I hope you learn something. I hope you... something. I don't know. Let's go with learn something. Let's stick with that one. So this is Sniperphobic, and you guys have a good one.